Hi, this is Kevin, and this is a video about chart 10.3 in our textbook. This is on page 263 in the paper book or page 3 in the PDF. So this chart has two grammar words you probably don't know and you probably don't need to remember, but they will be useful for us to talk about passive this week and next week. So maybe it's just a good idea to remember these. Transitive and intransitive verbs. In Japanese, I didn't know these words before today. I had to look them up in Japanese. This is transitive is tadoshi. I'm sorry about my pronunciation. And this one is jidoshi. Intransitive verbs is jidoshi and this is tadoshi. Maybe you don't even know the Japanese grammatical word for that. That's okay. Um, but what this means is in I don't know about every language, but in most languages they have these different types of verbs, and that means that transitive verbs must have or usually have an object. Object is mokutekigo in Japanese, and intransitive verbs never have an object. Okay. So look at examples quickly. Okay. A. Bob mailed the letter. So Bob is subject, mailed verb, the letter is the object. Mr. Lee signed the check. A cat killed the bird. Okay, these ones are the object, these are the verbs, this is the subject. And English is always SVO, right? Um, these verbs, these transitive ones, remember when we make a passive sentence, we can change the focus, right? So we can say the letter was mailed by Bob, the check was signed by Mr. Lee, the bird was killed by a cat. We can do this with transitive verbs, but look at an intransitive sentence or an intransitive verb. Something happened. There's no object. Or E, Kate came, preposition, to our house. F, the bird died. Here, there is no object. So we cannot make a passive sentence because this verb has no object. So we can't say something was happened. It's not correct grammar. We can't say our house was come to by Kate. That's not not correct. And we can't say the bird was died. That is also incorrect. Okay. This sometimes causes trouble for Japanese speakers because in Japanese you can use a passive in the same, it looks the same as a active sentence in Japanese because you use a passive when something bad happens. Um, like ame ni furareta or something, or saifu ga nusumareta. That sentence looks like same form as active, but you use it when something bad happens to you in Japanese, but it's different in English. Okay. So this is very useful in this chart because the chart gives you a short list of some very common intransitive verbs. Okay, I like agree, appear, arrive, become, come. These you can never make a passive in form. Okay. Um, so that's basically it. So you should take a look at these verbs and make sure I think you know all of these ones. So just remember that these ones cannot be, and any verb that doesn't have an object cannot be changed to passive. Okay, in form. So that's it. And then last, there's a little note here. If if you see a new verb and you're not sure if it's transitive or intransitive, it will tell you in the dictionary. Usually, the abbreviation VT means transitive, VI means intransitive. Okay, and some verbs you might see some verbs. Sometimes they can have an object, and sometimes they don't. Like students study books, students study. These are both okay, and that's because some verbs um, you don't have to put an object. but they're still transitive. So they don't always, I said they don't always have it. Okay, so that's it. I will stop talking here. I hope this helped explain the difference between transitive and intransitive verbs. And you have just, I think, just one activity practicing this, identifying these in the textbook. Okay, so talk to you guys later.